Hello, everyone. I'm Neely with ListenUp Podcast, and today we have comedian Quincy Carr. If you don't know Quincy, let me give you a little bit of background about him. He's known for quality comedy, and he's going to have to explain that to us later. But it's basically profane free. Mm-hmm. It's comedy that can it's for families. We've talked about you doing shows at churches. Mm-hmm. So that's something he's chose to do. However, he's also a TV host, a producer, and a philanthropist. Being here in the Hampton Roads area, he is a Navy veteran. And that's how we got him. So, so he joined the Navy. He came and he stayed. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
What you've done in the area as far as comedy is concerned. It's a lot of talent in this area.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and I don't think people understand. He's appeared on various acting roles on stage and on television. I want to hear about the stage because I've done some stage. It's really it's completely different, you know.
Stage like
acting,
right? But like Julius Caesar type stuff.
Who, me?
Or like Mama, don't let the belt hit us too hard.
Probably more like the Julius Caesar, you know, more like that.
Yeah.
So, you may have seen him as a character in A Raisin in the Sun, Walter Lee Younger.
Yeah.
He's appeared in on HBO, Max, True TV, CBS, ABC, and Prime Video. He has produced and directed various specials and shows. He's a writer, a producer, and a host of his brainchild.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Quality comedy show with Quincy Carr. Okay, there's still more, but I'm going to ask that you visit his website at Quincy Carr, and welcome.
Yeah, QuincyCarr.com. Thank you guys for having me. It's been pretty cool, and this is just interesting because we're both in the same positions that our football teams are in, sitting down.
That's right. A lot of my family's from Philly, so
I'm
Dallas
a Texas native.
Yeah, he's from Texas. What part of Texas?
Austin.
Oh, well, that's pretty much.
Yeah, but understand this about Austin. When I left Austin in '94 to join the Navy, when I would tell people where I'm from, they would say, "Where?" And I say, "Austin, the capital." And they'd be like, "Huh?" Because Austin was not recognized at all. You knew Dallas, Houston, San Antonio.
Right.
Now you say Austin, everybody knows Austin. Like, it's no question that Austin is that city. I'm extremely proud of the city, but now it's like a miniature LA. Like the last time I went back, the comedy scene is growing. A lot of music artists, a lot of celebrities have moved there. So, I'm not too happy about if I ever had to move back, but I am very proud of the city. Because it's just good. It's just a lot of outsiders that are in the city now.
Yeah, Texas' population has grown quite a bit.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of oil. I don't know. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about quality comedy.
Yeah.
And why you've chosen to produce comedy where you don't use profanity, because today,
it's so
you get up there with Ari Spears and Dave Chappelle,
right?
Everybody's
So the way I came into the game, I remember my mom when I told her that I wanted to do comedy, right? And my mom said, okay, well, as long as you're not out there just talking crazy and ridiculous. This is from the same woman that every movie and everything she watched had profanity in it.
Oh, really?
And so, yes. Like my mom and my dad, but as long as you ain't out there talking crazy. But that's the type of stuff that I would see her, oh, Lord, I mean, this is funny, So it was interesting that was what she had told me. But in the back of my head, I think that stuck. And so even though I started out using profanity in my performances, one day, probably about 3 years in, I was doing like this workshop night at this comedy club. It was one of the original comedy clubs here in this area before they closed down, but it's called the Thorogood Inn Comedy Club. And a lady came up to me afterwards and said, "Hey, I would love to hire you for our church." And I'm like, "Church?" I'm like, "Didn't you just hear me on stage?" And she was like, "Yeah, I heard you, but as compared to the other comics, we know that your funny can still be funny without the profanity." And I was like, "Really?" Of course, I rock out that church, and I wasn't talking about church stuff. I was just doing my material. Okay. I was doing what I knew and what I was comfortable with. And that was the catalyst. Like, that was the first sign that, okay, I can still be funny without profanity. Although I still kept using profanity in my shows after that church gig. It's what allowed me to understand funny is funny if it is funny. Although that didn't come from me, that came from this club owner when I was trying to figure out how can I be funny in front of the black audience like I was in front of the white audience. Because the comedy club I started out was what they call, quote unquote, mainstream comedy club. And when I would perform in front of an urban audience, I didn't get the reception that I would get from a mainstream comedy club. Yes. Okay. Because, black folks, like, we are so tough on each other. You show up on stage, we got our arms crossed. We're like, all right, let's see what this brother gonna do, right? And I never had to deal with that just stepping on stage in front of a mainstream or predominantly white audience. I could just come and just be me, and they're attentive, just waiting on whatever I was going to say. And so I struggled with, okay, how do I relate to the all black audience? Because I know I come across as like a square, or I look corny, and this club owner said, that's your problem. You think comedy is white and black. Comedy is about just reading your audience and being funny, but don't disrespect your audience. So if you notice, a lot of times, and it happens today, it's a huge pet peeve of mine, but comics will change when they see the audience dynamic has changed. So if it's a predominantly white audience, whether the comic is white, black, or whatever, they come out, "Hey, what's up, guys?" When the audience is predominantly black, you can hear the comments, "Oh, shoot, there's more black people. I got to come raw. I can't just..."
Oh, really?
Right. Okay. And that, for me, made sense with the level of don't disrespect your audience. And I'm a black person. So I respect the power and the influences and the education that black people have. There's judges, there's lawyers, there's law enforcement, there's politicians, there's all types of prominent people, principals of school. And we think just because they're black, oh, I can dumb down my stuff and just talk nasty and raw because that's what they want. Once I realized funny is funny if it's funny, it doesn't matter what you talk about. Just read your audience and be funny and relate to them without disrespecting them.
Okay, so you've been doing stand-up for 26 years, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. When did
Since the late 1900s. I'm old, bro.
Yeah, okay. You don't look like it, but...
well, bless you. Yeah. Moisturizer.
Moisturize, that's right. I learned that from Steve Harvey.
Yes, sir.
Moisturize.
Yes.
Okay. When did you know you had to go through a period? When did you know, okay, I'm funny? All right, it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
And you could get up there with any crowd and it didn't matter. And
so
said, I can do this for a living.
Yeah.
Solely.
So my very first time getting on stage, so just a quick backstory. My first civilian job, I'm in telemarketing, right?
Okay.
And
I want to bring everybody up to
okay.
When you were in the Navy from when to when?
All right, so I was in the Navy from 94 until 98. So I got out probably just short of 4 years.
Texas
Texas.
You joined the Navy.
To Chicago for boot camp.
Oh, yeah.
And then out here for my first set of orders.
Okay, and you stayed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started comedy right around...
I started comedy the year after I got out, so in 99.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm in my first civilian job, and this girl, Trisha Villafranca, I'll never will forget her name. She's actually from San Diego, and she actually moved back to San Diego some years later. So I was being the person that I've always been, I'm assuming, class clown. I'm the person, like I'm always kind of making folks laugh, doing stuff. And mind you, I never once ever said I would be a comic. Never once thought about acting, being in TV, because I have a stutter. So a lot of people don't know about this. I don't stutter in front of people I don't know. That's what allows me to go on the radio, to do TV, shoot scenes in shows or movies, because I don't know the audience. It's once I get a chance to know people, my brain says, okay, relax, be you. And now I'm trying to get words out. So stop laughing at me, bro.
All right.
But because I don't know you yet, I'm not stuttering in front of you yet.
Yeah, and that's not right.
No.
Speech
no.
impediment.
No.
Okay.
Yep. You know, that's what people do. They just start laughing. Yeah, thank you, sir. No. So I never once thought about stand-up comedy or talking publicly because of my stutter. And I was being the person I was being, and she said, Quincy, have you ever thought about comedy or stand-up? And I'm like, no. She said, because you're funny and you always keep us laughing. I think you should try it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's never going to happen. So our supervisor said, hey, we have a department. It's not a hangout. It's when the department says that we're all going to go out and like together, team building.
Okay.
So it was a team building night, and it was going to be at the karaoke bar Wannabes, which I think is still somewhere in here, Virginia Beach. And it said everybody, because we're all in telemarketing, we have to talk to customers to be comfortable. Everybody has to go and do a karaoke song. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I don't sing. I ain't going to do all that in front of people I don't know. And this was, kind of like a redneck bar, right? So it was like the two blackest things with me and a microphone stand that was in this building. So I'm in there and I'm listening to my coworkers sing. Nobody is reacting to them. Everybody's still playing pool and doing whatever. And so I choose a song that I feel comfortable with, Michael Jackson, right? Beat It. So I loved Michael Jackson. He was my idol when I was younger. I said, if I'm going to embarrass myself, I'm going to do it to a song that at least I can have fun with.
Right.
And I knew I couldn't sing. So I go up there and I said, okay, instead of singing, how about I distract people by reenacting the video? So the knife fight, Michael sliding across the pool table, I was doing all of that. And then I was doing, of course, the Michael Jackson mannerisms. I was doing all that. Before I knew it, the people that weren't really paying attention to anybody else singing, now they're entertained. They stop what they're doing, and everybody is watching me do this song. Okay. And by the time I was done, standing O, people are they whistling, and cheering. And the girl, she comes up to me and says, if you don't do what God has blessed you to do, you just got this whole group of people who don't know who you are to stand up and cheer for you and applaud what you just did. You need to go do comedy. Yeah. And that's when I kind of felt like, okay, maybe I can be funny in front of a bunch of strangers, not just in front of my coworkers or my classmates that kind of know me.
You weren't embarrassed in the least bit?
No. I mean, I think comedians, we tend to always try to find comedy in ways to break up how uncomfortable we are. So like my wife always says, like, can you just be serious without always having to make something about coming and be like, I don't want to be dramatic. Like if I feel like somebody's about to cry, like, hey, chicken nuggets. like I'm just making up something just to break up the monotony of just being dramatic. And so comics will tend to, in uncomfortable situations, try to break that uncomfortableness with some type of laughter. And I think that was the first time that I realized, okay, I think I can be funny in front of people. Yeah.
Had you studied any other comics prior to that?
Mm-mm.
No. Have you since?
Once I started,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, because keep in mind, VHS tapes were still in the late 1900s.
Okay.
So
I know how old you are. We're not going to tell everybody how old, but you're going to indirectly tell everybody how old you are.
Bro, this is 99. Right. Blockbuster Video was still letting you rent VHS tapes and DVDs. So I would go rent some VHS tapes. I was looking at the Red Foxes, of course, the Richard Pryors, the Eddie Murphys. And I was just watching. Now, mind you, I grew up in high school watching BT's Comic View, obviously Def Jam, later, Bad Boys of Comedy. So I watched comedy shows. I watched the TV show Martin, all those shows, Cosby shows. I was a fan of funny. I just never considered, you know what, I can do that. I can be the person that makes everybody laugh.
Right.
And so, I started studying videotape, just watching comics. And then I did what most young comics do. I think, well, shoot, I don't have a set. So why don't I just take what I saw as funny and then maybe try to adjust it and turn it into my own thing. And that's called, obviously, stealing. So I started out in my first...
Which we know some people got upset with Steve Harvey about that.
Yeah.
They think.
Well, it's not something that you want to be known for. As a matter of fact, I always give a shout out to this guy. He's from this area, Rob Reibold.
Yeah.
He was one of the veteran comics at the time when I started at that club. And about a year or two into it, I didn't know that there was some chatter behind my back about, he's making people laugh, but he's stealing people's, that's material that's that's stolen. And I didn't think that was a problem. Like a lot of young comics, they don't think it's a problem to do what somebody else has already done, because singers can do that. A singer could hear a song and say, I'm going to cover that.
Yeah.
And they'll get all types of love if they covered it and they sound great. Comedy, you just can't do that. You have to be original. So I didn't know that. And then it wasn't until Rob, he pulled me aside and he said, hey, dude, you're a funny person already. Like, you have great stage presence. He said, I don't know why he told me. He said, you're a good looking guy. So I'm all right. He said, but you got great stage presence and you're funny. He said, you don't want to be known as a comic that steals material. You want to come up with your own material. And the very first bit I ever wrote was a bit about my stutter. And to this day, that bit hits every time, because by the time I start talking about my stutter, no one would have even guessed that I have a stammer or a stutter at all.
Right. Because
up to that point, I'm talking and I'm just kind of flowing. And once I tell them that story, and then I go into these other examples of my friend who stutters and all that, like, folks just are floored by it. But that was the very first original bit that I wrote, was about me stuttering. And from that point, I said I never want to be regarded as a person that takes other people's material. And I would always start writing and paying attention. So, yeah.
Where did you get your inspiration for your jokes?
Life.
Okay.
Life.
And I think that's what most comics do.
Yeah.
But I think the gift is how you see it and you view it.
Yeah.
I guess that's what makes it your own, because I think several people can look at one person and see a lot of different things that they find humorous, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like life, to me, life is comedy just waiting to be told.
Yeah.
And if you can't look at life and laugh at life, then you're probably a very miserable person. And
or yourself. Or yourself,
right.
Which is how you got started, right?
Right. Just understanding that, just like this message that I have, and I've always, probably since 2016, I strive to be perfect and end up being human.
Right.
So I started embodying that message, because I was being judged so much for things that I'm like, man, I'm just a human being. I'm gonna mess up. But as long as you're okay with understanding you're gonna make a mistake, that's where a lot of our life's experience come from, is mistakes. But although we try to be the best people we want to be, we end up being human beings. So I just look at life. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. So, quality comedy.
Yeah.
Talk about how you what you're trying to accomplish with that.
Okay.
And it's centered here in this area, right? The Hampton Roads area.
Right.
Which is one of the things that I try to do is I'm trying to bring recognition to our area. And like I said, there's quite a bit of talent here.
Absolutely.
Right? We just don't have a lot of avenues for getting exposure. But what you're doing is one of the definitely something that will get the area exposure. But talk about quality comedy.
Yeah. So
and then
so the quality comedy brand. Sorry.
That's all right. I got you.
Allergies.
Yeah.
So the quality comedy brand kicked off in 2008 when I started my company, Quincy Carr, Inc.
Okay.
And the brand of it was quality entertainment and barber services, because I was also a licensed barber. And barbering was my first love anyway, like before comedy and anything. So when I started my business, I was already doing comedy. I said, okay, I'll just keep this as a hobby, but I'm about to get into this barbershop world. I'm about to tear this thing up, right? So my business slogan was quality entertainment and barber services. So when the Funny Bone, the Virginia Beach Funny Bone, they offered me my first show, like my show to produce and to bring there.
This is 8-9 years into you.
Yeah.
Starting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so let me see. So 2010 is when the Funny Bone offered me my first thing. And mind you, I was the first comic in the area to open up the Funny Bone Comedy Club when it came to the Hampton Roads area back in 2005. So New Year's going into 2005, I was the first comic that was the host. And it was me, Bobcat Goldway from the Police Academy movie, and this guy named Chris Porter. Obviously, Chris Porter's been on Last Comic Standing. He's big time comic now, and we all know who Bobcat is. Yeah. So I have been a part of the Funny Bone since the very opening day when they came here. In 2010, I had already been a part of the venue, and the manager at the time said, "Hey, would you like your own show, your own night?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And I said, "Well, what can I call it?" He said, just call it something. I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do what most comics would call their nights." And I didn't want it to sound like it was a black night, or it was a night that is like it's this weird night. So I said, you know what? My brand is quality comedy, kind of has a nice ring to it. So I call it the Quality Comedy Series. And the very first show I did was a PG-13 show. So it had some light cursing, not anything harsh. The very next show I did was I had two church-based comics. One was a headliner and one was a feature act. And that was going to be my first ever all clean show. Mm-hmm. And that show became my most packed show. And it was at that time I said, I think I know what the staple of the Quality Comedy Series is going to be. It's going to be all clean adult humor. Okay. Period. And so that's kind of how the Quality Comedy Series began. But that's what really solidified what quality comedy was going to be about. And so from there, I'm 15 years in, or 16 years in doing that. I left the Funny Bone in 2017. I moved it over to Dave & Buster's, and I just took it to another level at Dave & Buster's. And and I've been rocking ever since. But yeah, clean adult humor that can go anywhere. So whether you're in church, whether you're on a cruise ship, whether you're in a comedy club, just be funny and challenge yourself. Like I get a lot of comics these comics got names. Like I brought Omar Gooding, Cuba Gooding's brother. Really? Yeah. Like he had just started doing comedy probably about 2 years prior to me bringing him about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I met him through a mutual buddy. And I told him, I said, yeah, so my show is no profanity. Well, he curses a lot. And he says, well, yeah. Okay, Quincy, yeah. I can still do it. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I got Omar Gooden about to come here. We packed the place out. And I remember him saying that he was fine, but I could tell he was a little bit uncomfortable. It was after that show. He said, dude, you don't know how crazy this is. Like, you're the first person that ever challenged me to not curse. And I had an amazing set, but I was nervous because I had never not cursed on stage.
Zone. Yeah.
And he said, you challenged me. And man, like, I feel comfortable. Like, if I ever needed to not curse, that I can do it with no problem because of you. Coco Brown, she told me the same thing. Coco said, like, I started out not cursing. And then, of course, I said, F that, I'm going to just be me. She said, doing your show, I didn't want to disrespect your brand because I respect you for what you're doing. And the fact that you still hired me knowing that I don't have anything that shows that I don't curse.
Yeah.
And she rocked it and killed it, but she also, at the same time, she said, thank you. Like doing your show showed me, like, I don't really need to do the cursing, but it's just what I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
But I could still rock out. So that brand of quality comedy, which is now officially trademarked since 23, so I own the trademark to it now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are your parents still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My biological dad, he passed away in 2020, but I didn't know him that much. But my stepdad is still.
But your mom, what does she think about your comedy?
Well, first of all,
because like you said, you grew up watching her watch like Richard Pryor and
I mean, she's just as proud as any mother would be. My issue with her, and I think she knows this, she's now on Facebook, and this woman in her 70s is liking every single thing. She's gone back and liked stuff from years ago, commenting on it. Oh, I wish I would have known about this. I would have loved it. But mama, get off of Facebook. Get off. And then, or she'll do something crazy like she'll comment on what somebody else has commented on my post. I'm so happy. Thank you for enjoying my son's work. It wasn't always this easy for him. Mama, get off of Facebook.
At 70 years old.
At 70. I just want to be in the know. Because she wanted to do it because our family reunion has a group page.
Right.
And, of course, a few of the family members and some of her peers are on Facebook. So she said, well, I want to be on Facebook too so I can see what y'all are saying and da-da-da-da. But it's like, mama, just close your account because you are really into a lot of this stuff. And it's like, it's kind of uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. But yes, sweet woman. And everything I do, she is behind it, still calling me, I'm in my late 40s. Sweet son, my sweet Quincy.
That's
sweet
her baby.
Yeah.
That'll never change. All right. So your wife and your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. You're at home. Are they like, okay, Dad, you're funny, or just stop it?
They joke on me the worst.
Really?
Like, yes. My daughter pulls no punches. Like, she'll talk about my teeth. She'll talk about, be like, Dad, you got some big teeth. Not knowing that she got big teeth too,
Right.
Yeah,
It's
but she just got her braces off, so now like she all like, oh no, I got the perfect smile. But like my wife, like they joke on me and they keep me honest. And my wife will always say, somebody gotta keep you humble around here.
That's right.
So I'm like, man, y'all don't be, like blow my head up a little bit. Mm-mm. Now, my daughter, the first time she saw me perform, it was at our family reunion. Our family reunions always do an entertaining night where the people have new talent or something. And because I organized it, I just hosted this particular deal. And it was her first time actually seeing me perform. And I remember her coming up to me and said, low-key, Dad, like, you pretty funny.
That's right.
yeah, you know. And I'm like, oh, really? She said, yeah, I mean, you pretty funny. And I was like, okay, all right.
That's
yeah,
probably the
yeah,
biggest
because
compliment.
she a teenager now, so this girl know everything. Oh, I know. 6'7". So sick of that. 6'7". Oh, I know. Be like, yeah, you don't know everything.
Yeah, you. How long you perform on cruise ships? How long have you been doing that?
Since 2018. Ironically,
During the pandemic.
just short of a month to the date that I got out the Navy. So I got out in July of '98. I got my first cruise contract August of 2018. So yeah.
You did it during the pandemic?
No, it was right. Well, so I did it for about a year and a half, and then the pandemic hit.
Okay.
I was actually on a cruise ship. We had done the Panama Canal crossing. So it was a ship that left from L.A., and they were coming to Miami. So going through the Panama Canal. When we were going through the Panama Canal, that's when we started hearing something about, man, there's some crazy disease. They said that you have to wear either a mask or you've got to keep your throat moisturized with water so you don't get this disease that could kill you. We're like, what? What are they talking about?
Yeah.
And when we got to Miami and went through customs, that's when we saw people got on masks. Now they really, hey, where y'all coming from? Because y'all bringing it into the States. So I was on a cruise ship when it was really going down. And then everything shut down around March.
That's good. You weren't out there.
No. But yeah, man.
What is that like?
I got my first cruise contract in 2018. The same time that I got my very first TV performance on True TV. It was a show called Laugh Mobs, Laugh Tracks. The creator of Def Jam, his name is oh man, I just drew a blank. Not Russell Simmons. It'll come back to me. I'm sure folks comments is watching. You don't remember his name, but like he created the second coming of his Def Jam thing called Laugh Mobs, Laugh Tracks, where you take the comedians' jokes that they're telling on stage and you add acting to it. And so while you're watching it, it starts with the comics setting up their story, and then what you're watching is the actors reenacted as we're telling the story on stage. So it's like it was a pretty cool concept, and but it lasted for like 2 or 3 seasons. So I think I got on it on season 2, and I got 2 episodes out of it. And a buddy of mine, when I was taping my episode in Chicago, he hit me up and said, "Hey, remember I've been trying to get you on these cruise ships, man?" And I would always be like, "No, I'm not trying to do those 6-month contracts. I've been in the Navy. I'm not trying to do ships." And he said, "Hey, he said the agency is trusting me to send them referrals. And I'm telling you, you're guaranteed to get on. Send me your 10 minutes." And so I said, you know what? What's it going to hurt? So I sent them my 10 minutes. And before I knew it, they immediately categorized me as a headliner on cruise ships. And this was a person at the time, I still didn't have any TV credits. I didn't have anything that would make me be a headliner. So worst case scenario, I would start off as a host, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And no, they saw what they saw. And I told him, I said, "Bro, like, I think they made me a headliner." And he said, "What?" He said, "Man, you know how long I had to be a host before I got bumped up to headliner?" I said, "Yeah, but like..."
Funnier than you.
It's like, what did they see? Yeah. And he said, "Man, they must have went deep beyond that 10-minute clip that you sent. They must have looked you up or did something." Because I'm like, because I have no credits. I have no major TV credits, no anything. And so, like when I got the cruise ship thing, that ended up being much better than the road comedy life, going from club to club to club, because now it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
All expense paid. You're traveling to these countries. You're performing for people from all over. And the paycheck is much better than a comedy club.
You probably don't have too many expenses.
No.
Traveling.
It's all good. And I mean, I don't have to do but like a week or two at a time. So it's not even like a 3-6 month contract. No, it's just 1 week or 2 weeks and you're back home.
Is it one cruise line? Or is it multiple ones?
So I only do one main cruise line. I've done 2 total. Okay. I've done Holland America and Norwegian, but Norwegian is my main one that I do. I've chosen not to do Carnival and not to do Royal, mainly because they overwork you, and it's not a lot of work, but okay, so on average I can do 6 shows in a 7-day cruise. That's not bad.
Right.
Even if I had to do 7 shows, that's not bad. These other ships, you're doing an average of 12 to 14 shows. So you're probably doing 2 shows a night. And the show's only 25 minutes. But comedy, what a lot of people don't know, it pulls a lot from us to give y'all this material to laugh at. And I love being a comic, but I don't want to work 2 shows a night, 7 straight nights. And they also pay you a little bit less than what I get on the. So I'm like, I'm not doing all that work. And some comics love it, but I'm not at that point in my life. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
How often would you say you write or produce material and for the cruise lines shows?
It's a daily thing. Like I'm always observing. Mm-hmm. I'm always like there's something that you're always gonna see that's funny. Like so I saw an older gentleman on one of those slides. I call him the slide of death. Right? It's the slide where the feet come out from up under you. And then you just drop down and you go around and you do all that. So I'm like, what is he doing? Like, you're out of your element, man. Like, kids, young people can do that. But, I mean, it's a slide of death because you got to start out like this. So, right? Like, you about to be in a casket. And then I don't like it because I did it one time. And the reason I don't like it is because the crew member played too much. Like, they'd be, hey, let's check your pockets. Let's make sure you don't have anything. You don't want have anything happen to you. Oh, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Right? And then all of a sudden, then the floor drops. And I'm like, oh, right. And I said, I'll never do that again. I said, I don't know about y'all, but I don't like the taste of my own pee. It's ridiculous. Come right up and like I will never do that again. So, but it's like material like that, or I'm watching grown people, doing stuff that their bodies can't handle, like eating ice cream. Like you're lactose intolerant, and you were just tearing this ice cream up on the cruise ship. So I'm always watching. I'm looking at people, and they walking through the hallway. Sound like the 4th of July. Like, bro, your body can't handle that. Why are you doing stuff that you can't handle? Trying to be young again. So, yeah.
I guess they figure I may not get another cruise.
Man, you know what? You may not have another bowel movement. I mean, putting your body through all that stuff. But yeah, so I'm always attentive. Like, it's situations where, like, even on my travel days, right?
Right.
I saw a lady, she jumped out of her cab before the cab even stopped. I thought she was shooting a scene in an action movie. I'm like, hey, I'm on vacation. Like, she got out screaming, I'm on vacation. And the crowd, the cab driver's like, ma'am, I'm on vacation. You can't tell me nothing. And he's like, ma'am. She says, what? He said, your kids. Like, you got to get your kids. Like, you don't left your kids. You can't leave your kids in the car. So like I'll take situations like that, being on plane flights, the travel. So I observe everything. And so I give you an example of the stuff I do on my adult show. So this lady, I saw an older passenger. She slipped and fell, right?
Yeah.
And I saw a younger passenger slip and fall. Mm-hmm. The younger passenger that slipped and fell, every part of her body hit the ground. Like, she was done, right? Nobody cared about her because she's young, right? I saw an older lady, I call her a seasoned citizen, been cooking for a long time. I saw her hit the ground. And the way she hit, like, her body was parallel to like, she slipped hard. and hit every part. Luckily, her head didn't hit, but every part of her body, she's laying on the ground moaning. Oh, and everybody's coming up to her, ma'am, are you okay? Somebody call the paramedics. And I was over there like, you know what? I'm going to turn this negative into a positive. I'm saying, I'm a little turned on.
I shouldn't be laughing. It was great.
No. Like, this is how my adult shows go. It says, I'm a little turned on by what I just saw. I said, this woman just slipped, fell, her whole body hit the ground, and she didn't hit her head. I said, I bet she can suck a golf ball through a straw. See how strong her neck was that kept her head from hitting the ground. I said it, and the crowd just bust out laughing because they never see that coming.
Oh, man.
But that's how crazy my adult show, or that's like, you know, like I don't have to say the words. I could just kind of use innuendo. And so, yeah, so I take the time to look at every situation and I say, okay, can I put this in my set tonight? Nope. Okay, maybe I'll save it for another night.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, take you back a little bit.
All right.
So why don't you ever engage a heckler?
So number one is because I always say I don't know the line. There's a line that you shouldn't cross. I said, number one, I let the audience know. I'm not a thug in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to battle you. I said, and what y'all don't realize is I grew up in a cul-de-sac. I'm very safe. There's nothing thugged out about me at all. Okay,
right.
So that's number one. Two, ain't nobody doing real security checks. Y'all are walking right in this room. Nobody pat you down. I don't know what you coming in here with. So I don't know the line. There are some people where you just can't cross that line and you don't know what they've been going through. So that's why I don't engage hecklers. Now, will I address a heckler or a person that's been a little loud? Yeah, I'll do it in a way where it's like, hey, come on, sir. The rest of the people want to enjoy. But I don't really do crowd work. I'm still even at my...
You're probably safe on the cruise line, but go ahead.
No. Because there's some that want to be a part of the show and they want to.
Oh, yeah.
Because on the cruise ship, I'm like a celebrity. Like, I've gotten an idea of what celebrities deal with where they can't walk or go anywhere. Like on the cruise ship, it's like 3,000 to 5,000 people. You're the person that has made folks laugh. When they see you around, I could just be sitting and eating and I could feel the eyes just burning through my head because everybody's like, that's him, that's a comedian.
Yeah.
That's a comedian. It's like, hey, are you the comedian? Hey, I just want to tell you, you were great, da. So everyone, when they come to your show, they feel like, I got the comedian to talk to me.
Yeah.
I got the comedian.
Now you got to tell us what's the oddest thing that's happened to you when you were, because you are a celebrity. What's the oddest thing that's happened to you while you were on the cruise ship and you were just, I'm the Quincy Carr personal time?
A couple of odd things. One, it was this horrible little young racist kid that came up to me and said, hey, we enjoy your show. Do you can I tell you a joke? And now I'm looking at his family members, like his, cousins and them, and they're like this. And this was one of the...
They knew it was about to come.
Right. And this was one of those cruises that was cruising out of New Orleans. Ooh. And unfortunately, you usually get your Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and all those type folks. Not saying that those places are racist. What I'm saying is they came from one of those places.
A whole lot of exposure outside of this.
And so the first thing I said, all right, yeah, because you wanted to tell me a joke. And he said, how easily offended are you? And at that point, I knew as a black person, I said, all right, I know. Like, he feels that comfortable with me that he is not even self-aware.
Yeah.
That this is what we say amongst us, not in their face. And so I said, just for kicks and giggles, tell me the joke. And he tells me the joke, and I'll be honest, I cannot remember this joke because I really just tuned him out. I just wanted to see how far he was actually going to be unaware of how he was talking.
Right.
So he says it, and he says the punchline, and his sisters and cousins is like, oh, my gosh. And he's like, what? you know, Nana loves that joke. Like, we say it around her all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is a generational thing. Like, y'all are just comfortable doing that. And so that's all I needed. Now, one of the craziest things that happened, I know I don't talk like politics and all that stuff. So I'm on a cruise ship, and this was after 2020. Mm-hmm. So there are some supporters of, obviously, the current president that had, at that time, 2024 hats, right?
Yeah.
And so they were rocking the hat, and this one passenger was rocking the hat. And I spotted him when I was doing my first show. I said, yep, that hat kind of stands out. That's what I'm saying to myself. But I do my thing. A couple of nights later, the magician had finished his performance, and I'm up there just supporting the magician while he's doing his merchandise sales. So I'm looking over the balcony down the stairs, and I spot the guy. He's got his hat on. He spots me and does this, and he taps his wife, and I'm like, oh God. So I try to turn my back. I turn my back on the rail. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, I bet they coming upstairs. I bet they coming upstairs. He comes upstairs. He finds me, and he says, hey, you're the comedian, right? And I'm like, yeah. But it really shouldn't have been that hard to tell. There's not that many black folks.
On a Norwegian cruise line.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And so I'm like, yeah. And he said, hey, man, just wanted to tell you, I really enjoyed your comedy, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that you were funny. And I'm like, hey, man, thank you, right? Which kind of shows what this message is. Stop judging, holding grudges, and pointing fingers at people that you haven't had a chance to meet.
Right.
And I was doing that because I was like, oh, yeah, he's probably going to come up here and say something crazy to me, even though I said nothing about, his chosen candidate or nothing. I just felt like that's what he was about to do. And then it dawned on me. I'm shaking his hand and patting him on the shoulder, and we're talking. So whoever has a camera could be taking a picture of me shaking this guy's hand and patting him. They don't know what I said. Yep, I'm about to be done. Cause now it looked like I'm one of those, So that was one of the most eye-opening moments that I felt like I had. It was a strange moment, but it was eye-opening because he just came to tell me, hey, I really enjoyed your show. And I said, thank you. Yeah. So I've had some interesting moments, but it's like I said, like when I saw that lady fall and everybody was just getting all nervous about it. I mean, there was a person that actually felt like he passed out during the show.
Right.
I was there. I wasn't performing, but I was watching my homeboy perform, and I was just there just to support him. And we're on the ship.
Right.
And this dude, like in the back of the room, and falls out. And everybody's like, and they gasp. And of course, my man is on stage. He's like, hey, let's turn the lights on. Hey, let's get him some help. And everybody's moving out the way. And he's passed out on the floor. We don't know what happened, whether he had a heart attack or what. They call for the medical team. The medical team is coming down. The medical team is clumsy as hell. The first guy that I cannot make this up. The first responder that's coming, he trips like just outside of the door. All we hear is whatever he had in his hand just spread all over the floor. Meanwhile, this guy's still passed out.
The medical team needed help.
Right. This guy is still passed out. People trying to fan him, and like you can see he has a pulse.
Yeah.
But he's not conscious. And then the doctor behind him, the first responder, he slips and falls on top of him. This is all true. So the doctor and the first responder are both rolling on the ground, holding their knee. And I promise you, I swear to God, the dude that was passed out, I just have to imagine he realized he wasn't going to get the medical attention that he needed. Because he came to, he was like, you know what? I'm good. This dude was passed out. not conscious at all. And either it hit him in his head like, hold up, these are the people supposed to be saving me? You know what? I'm good. And then, of course, the comedy show continued. Like they said, y'all want to keep the comedy show? And this is how these people on vacation are. Yeah. Like, we don't care about them passing out. Finish your jokes, man. So, yeah. So I see a lot, and I always try to turn tragedy into comedy, man. Like, it's the one thing that keeps me sane.
Yeah, a lot of people right now, it's just a lot of tension.
Yeah.
A lot of, oh, man, it's just a whole bunch right now. So
Yeah.
going to a comedy show is definitely can be a highlight of a week. Talk about is it Coastal Comedy Live?
Coast Comedy Live? Yeah.
Yeah, Coast Comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about that.
So
Tell us what that is.
Yeah, so Coast Comedy Live is like a I want to say it's the second part to the Lifestyles and Entertainment weekday show called Coast Live. Okay. And that's April and Chandler on the Channel 3 on the CBS affiliate.
Okay. What is your involvement?
So they were the first show that ever gave me an interview regarding my quality comedy series.
Okay.
Of all the shows here, of all the TV news stations here, Channel 3, and I'm putting that out there, Channel 3 is the first one that ever helped me promote my quality comedy series.
Awesome.
I had asked other ones, and it wasn't as important, or it wasn't as big time enough to give me a shot. Now, maybe because Coast Live was a new morning show at the time, and so they wanted the stuff. But from that relationship in 2017, we just grew. And then in 2019, I got hired on what could be considered a competition lifestyles and entertainment show, Living 757, on the Cox platform.
Okay.
So I thought that our relationship would be weird, but we just all agreed, hey, I won't talk about my show on your show, and we won't talk about your show on our show, because I brought a certain level of entertainment every time I would do an interview. And then anytime I have a show and I'm promoting a show, I bring the headliner, and me and the headliner is on the couch, and then I give all the information about the show, but the audience gets a chance to see a teaser of why they should come out to my show to see this headliner. And as that evolved in 2022, the GM that had just kind of came over there, I think his name was Adam Chase. He's no longer there. But he had reached out to me, was in New York or something, and said, hey, Quincy, I'm in New York. I know you don't know who I am. I'm the vice president of broadcasting there, and your name came up in a room. I'm like, what? And he said, I want to do something different. I want to bring a comedy show to our TV station, but nobody's ever done that. And when I brought that up, people mentioned your name as the person that can probably help get this done. Now, I'm shocked at the same time, but I'm like,
yeah,
okay, so I guess I have laid down some decent groundwork here in the area, and kind of brought to them the idea of how I produced a comedy TV show at the Funny Bone back in 2014. And I said, if we can use this format. So the format is the comics would perform, and after they perform, they'd sit down and have a conversation on the couch. And it kind of resembles a late night TV type of set.
right.
And man, we've done 4 total seasons, 22, 23, 24, and last year. And then we even started doing a New Year's special version of the Coast Comedy Live, and we've done that for 2 years straight. So on the credits, it says quality comedy provided by Quincy Carr Inc., and then my name is listed as a talent coordinator. So that's the relationship that I've had with them since 2017, Coast Live, and then Coast Comedy Live has been a part of that as well. So I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I have that level of access. but at the same time, to have my name mentioned in a room of people that I didn't even know were talking about me.
Yeah.
And for the president of broadcasting to contact me and say, hey, I want to do this. And you were one of the first names that someone says, talk to Quincy.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about your website is quincycarr.com.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. They can find events, what events you have coming up.
Yeah.
You can purchase merchandise. What else do you have going on?
Yeah, so you'll always be able to see like what cruise ships I'm going to be on next, just in case you're cruising.
Right.
Every now and again, I'll run into some passengers that are from the Hampton Roads area, and it's always crazy because it's like we're like 5,000 miles away, whether I'm on an Alaskan cruise or I'm on a Caribbean cruise, and I always mention where I'm from. And I'll say Virginia Beach, and somebody say, where in Virginia Beach? I said, well, actually, I live in Portsmouth because don't nobody know Portsmouth. So I say Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, I live in Chesapeake. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll see like where my cruise ships or which cruise ship I'm going to be on next. You'll usually see where I'm going to be, like if it's on land next. And you can see like clips, like past clips of the things that I've done on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so it's all there. Like you can reach out to me. I got my merchandise sales, whether my t-shirts do really well. So I have an online store. So they can go to the online store. They can get a ball cap. They can get this. But just overall, the message that I push with it is just letting folks know, hey, you know, we strive to be perfect. We end up being human. Let's try to fix ourselves before we try to fix other people. So if we can look in the mirror and say, let me be a better person,
Right.
then it makes it easy to go out there as a better person, hoping you inspire somebody else to do the same.
Right.
Instead of sitting back and say, you need to be better. You need to do this. Be like, how about you fix you first?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and then my dry bar comedy special, like that was pretty cool for me. Because I shot my own comedy special first back in 2016.
Okay.
And it was when I was turning 40. So now you know how old I am. So I was getting ready to turn 40. And I said, nobody is coming here to give me a comedy special. After all these years I've been performing, I said, let me shoot my own. So I booked a trip out to LA, got some inspiration, talked to a few people in the industry, and I said, do you think I can shoot my own? They said, yeah, why not? And so I did. In like 3 months, I had it all set. I shot it at the Barry Robinson Theater in Virginia Beach. And it turned out great. And it was called Too Young for 40. Because everyone was like, you look too young to be turning 40. And then I used that time to kind of talk about my new relationship with my biological father at the time, prior to him passing. And I just kind of just told a lot about me and how I was feeling turning 40 and the things that people never knew about me. So that one was pretty good. So when I got my Dry Bar comedy special, Dry Bar is a clean comedy platform that's worldwide, is recognized worldwide. So that one got released almost, I want to say, a year and a half ago. And that one is doing well. And that one is called I'm Human, I Checked. If the bear is black, fight back. If the bear is brown, lay down. If the bear is white, good night. Because they say polar bears are much more aggressive, and then a grizzly bear is the next aggressive, and then a black bear, you can fight. You know what? I'm black, y'all. How about if you and the bear is home, you deserve to lose your dome. So on that one, kind of pushing this message as well.
Right.
But just talking about my experiences, as I'm living life. So I'm hopeful to shoot a third comedy special here soon. So I'm working on
In this area?
I don't know if I'm going to shoot it in this area. I don't know if it's going to be another Dry Bar special, because for Dry Bar, you've got to go out to Utah. A place is called Provo, Utah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
why? Why is that?
So that's where their studio is.
Oh, the Dry Bar Studio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So that's where they record all the comedy specials out in Provo, Utah. So
You been there?
Huh?
Have you been there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had to go out there to
To
shoot.
do the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got word that their airport has now been fixed. Have you ever flown into Salt Lake City before?
Never.
Okay. So for anybody that's listening, you know I'm not lying. That was the worst design of an airport in the history
Wow.
of airports. Like you had to walk so long after you got off the plane just to get to baggage claim. I'm talking, and I'm not making this up. It had to have been at least about a half-mile walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've
Like
been in some pretty bad airports.
this was the worst airport design
Okay.
I've ever seen in my life. But at the time that I had gone there, they had stories of mountain lions coming down and snatching, pets and kids and all types of stuff. And I was like, where am I at right now? Where I got to worry about a mountain lion
Yeah.
while I'm waiting on my Uber. So,
Wow.
yeah. So that one, a pretty cool experience. And then I went back a couple of years after that because there was a group of faculty members that came on a cruise ship and they liked my performance. And they said, we were talking and we would love for you to come talk to our high schoolers. We think they would benefit from your message, but just a chance to get to know you. And they happened to be about 30 minutes from Provo. So I actually went there.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I know by the time this is produced, you're going to be at the Rivers. By the time this is produced, it's going to be a week later. How often will you perform at the Rivers Casino in Portsmouth? You have any other bookings coming up for that?
That one was booked by another fellow comic that actually has the room.
Okay.
So he's been trying to get me on that show that I think it's a Wednesday night. But he had been trying to get me on that show. And so I finally was like, hey, look, I'm available first month. And so he put me on in the last week of the first month of this year.
Yeah, people around here are going to see you. So Dave and Buster's is...
Oh, yeah. Dave and Buster's,
Yeah.
my very first kickoff show
Okay.
for Dave and Buster's for season 14 of the Quality Comedy Series
Okay.
is already set for Thursday, March 19th.
Okay.
Okay. I do that show every third Thursday of the month. So you never have to question what date it is. Just look for the third Thursday of that month. And on the first one, I always bring a big time comic. The past 2 years, like I told you, I had Omar Gooding to kick off 2 years ago. I had Coco Brown to kick off last year. And this year, a buddy of mine that tours with Dave Chappelle. His name is Marshall Brandon. Brilliant comic. And he's out of New York, but he's been a writer on Comic View and a bunch of sitcoms. And so a lot of people may not know him by his face.
Okay.
But he's a big time comic that I'm very blessed to be able to get him booked and have him come down to kick off season 14 of continuing to do this show. So obviously I lost some years when COVID hit because I started in 2010 and then COVID, I think I didn't come back after 2020 until 2023. So I lost some years. So right now we're on season 14. That doesn't add up to, you say you started in 2010. What happened, bro? So yeah. So that's just how it goes.
Okay. It was awesome having you on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to when it's produced and just see what kind of exposure we're getting out of it. But Quincy Carr, I think we can claim you as ours now for the Hampton Roads area. So, Texas, Dallas, and
Hey, but I get it, bro. Look, as long as y'all understand the whole thing with the Quality Comedy King.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Quality Comedy King. I didn't name myself that.
Okay.
By the way, somebody else said, "Oh yeah, you're doing quality comedy. You the Quality Comedy King," and that's only for the people to be like, "What makes him a king?" I'm like, I didn't name it. Just somebody just kind of put that in my lap. I said, okay, and then that became my handle. And so everything I do, I try to embody that quality comedy brand. And I started here in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
That's right.
So this is now my home just as much as Austin is. I would love to bring something back to Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
But this is my home.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah. I appreciate y'all for welcoming me.
Yes, that's it. Quincy Carr, quality comedy king. Don't
There
you
you go.
forget it. All right. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, bro.
And then we'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see you on the 19th of March for sure.
Oh, let's
Okay.
get it.
All right. That concludes today's episode. Listen up. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'm going to ask you to click on the links below. Follow, subscribe, become part of the conversation. And remember, listen up.